Hey there, thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I'm going to be going over my setup process for my November monthly budget, which is going to include setting up my calendar, going over my estimated income and expenses for the month, and counting up my sinking funds to see where I'm going to be starting. For those of you new to my content, my name is Kay, and I love sharing my budget planning here with you guys and sharing my debt journey. And if you find yourself enjoying my video and my content, please let me know by leaving a like and subscribe as well with notifications turned on so that you get notified when I upload. So let's get right into this budget. And I have a few things with me here today, a lot of my usual suspects. I have my friction erasable pen. I have my Cricut tweezers. And I have my custom stickers that I made that are not available in my shop. And I have my sinking funds binder here with me because I'm going to be adding a sinking fund update to the end of my monthly setups for those who are interested in my sinking funds. But the first thing I want to do is get started on my calendar setup. So I'm going to hop into November. We're almost through 2021. And this boy is so thick. So what I ended up doing to try and save space is I actually did some double-sided printing to conserve. And again, I don't use all of the sheets in my budget book. I just like to have a lot of different styles for people to choose from for what works for them. But if you find yourself interested in my sheets, they are in my Etsy shop. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this setup. First, I'm gonna go in and mark my paydays. I'm gonna be counting November as 2 paydays. So the first payday is actually September 27th, which I'll just end up marking here. And then the second payday will be on the 10th. And technically I'll get paid on the 24th, but I'm going to put that in with December and see if I can work December into being a 3 paycheck month. So I gave myself 3 payday flags, but I'm only going to need 2. So 1 on the 10th. And I'm really clumsy and not good with my hands, so I find that tweezers really helps even though I just got that crooked. So I'm just gonna mark the 27th over here because it's off the month. And then next I'm gonna add my fixed expenses. So my first expense always in the beginning of the month is Spotify, which is $5 on student discount. And then I have my phone bill through Sprint, which is auto pay for $54. And then my car insurance, which is through Safeco for $133. My tuition for UMass Lowell, which is on auto pay for $50 a month. My Adobe Creative Cloud subscription, which I did have a discount on, but the discount has gone away for November. It's going to be going from $16 to $30 a month, and that's still with a student discount. And then I'm going to have my rent with utilities, and that is technically always a variable number, although I count it as a fixed expense, so I just leave that one blank. I actually think I like that spot better. Alright, so I'm going to try and get them all in that spot. So Spotify is on the 1st. Sprint is next. That's on the 9th or 10th. This one should come out on the 10th. Oh, no, wait. I think that's going to block now. Yeah, so we'll put it down here. Sprint. Safeco is going to be on the 13th of every month. UMass is on the 15th of every month. Adobe is the 25th or 26th of every month usually. So I'm going to put that here. And then rent and utilities, it's due on the 1st, but I like to pay it a couple days before, so I'm gonna tag it on the 29th to make sure my bank can process it on time. So those are all my fixed expenses. The last thing I want to do is color code my stickers for tracking my variable spending. I've already added my little laundry icon here, but I gotta pick what colors I want for each category, and I always end up with like a red or an orange for food, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna put that for pet, and then I think I want to do gas can be taupe, and then food will be blue, and then allowance for the warm cocoa. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these colors as keys into my notes column here. So there's gas and then pets. I shouldn't have that many pet expenses because in October, if you haven't seen or if you don't watch my spending check-ins, I bought a very large stockpile of my cat's food because it's getting really hard to find right now, and I ended up finding it 90 miles from where I live. So I stocked up on all that they had, meaning I overspent, but because of that, I won't have to spend as much for the end of the year. So my pet spending is definitely going to be going down, so I'll be able to budget a lower amount for that. But I'm getting ahead of myself here, so let's jump into the monthly budgets. We'll do the monthly budget, and then at the end we'll come back to check in on my sinking funds. So let's get going on this monthly budget. I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see, but I don't want to over zoom in because I feel like it gets kind of blown out sometimes. I'm only going to be expecting 2 sources of income for November from my regular job, and I also have some rollover from September. I actually have a lot of rollover to take in, and I'll actually go in and show you. That monthly closeout just went up recently. I had $146 extra. That's crazy. So we're definitely going to be taking that in to help with saving. In terms of estimating my work income, I am in a lower income period with less hours and less travel. That being said, I know that I'm going to be getting a small bonus, and also as well, I have some of my last expense reports coming in, so I'm going to be a little bit more stacked than I'm expecting. So I'm going to budget for $2,000 again, like I did for October. So I'm going to be estimating for $2,146 for total monthly income. So I'm going to be taking that down here. And this is where I'll be adding all of those expenses that I just added to my calendar. Those were all my fixed expenses. The only difference here being is that I'm going to give the rent and utilities an estimated value of $900. Once I get the actual value, I'll go in and add that on the calendar page. But I'm going to need to go ahead and total these up on my calculator. My batteries are still low. I'm refusing to change them. So that comes out to $1,172 in the estimated fixed expenses. So I'm going to need to take $2,146, subtract the $1,172. That comes out to $974, which I bring down to my variable expenses, because after I pay the bills I'm required to pay, next is time to make sure I have money for the things I know I'm going to have to buy. So I've gone and written in all my variable categories that you saw on the calendar setup. The only thing you didn't see is Easy Pass because it's not a regular variable expense for me. It's my toll transponder. I do need to add a little bit to it to make sure I'm good for the end of the year, because on my way to school and back, I pay $1.40 in tolls. So I definitely want to account for that. Over the course of 10 weeks, which is not how much I have left for school this semester, but just to be on the safe side, I'll make that amount $14. That also take care of the 4 here to try to make some like nice easy round numbers. I don't want to have to be thinking too hard about these numbers. Allowance I'm gonna keep at 60. Food, even though Thanksgiving is coming up, I'm gonna keep it at 300, and that might even be too high just based off of September, and so far in October I might be able to bring that down for December. Gas I'm gonna be able to bring down. I'm gonna bring that down to 80 because again I'm not traveling as much. And laundry I'm gonna do 40. I'm gonna stick with my 40. And like I was rambling on earlier before about my pet category, because I have like a 2-month supply of cat food, I don't really need to have as much budgeted out. I pretty much only need like litter and other little things here and there. So I'm gonna budget $40 for the whole month, which is half of what I've been previously budgeting for the most part. So I'm gonna go ahead and total, wait, let me see if I can do this in my brain. I had to double check, I can't trust my brain. So I have 974 minus 534 gives me 440, which is what I was looking for. I wanted a decent number for going forward. So sinking funds, extra debt payments, and I don't really have a need for extra savings. She's just kind of been getting ignored the whole time. So coming up here, I do know that I am still going to make an extra debt payment to my NOV, although not as much as I have been. I'm just trying to take a little bit of a chill pill on the extra debt payments and just really try to beef up some of my sinking funds a little bit, especially my Christmas fund. So I think what I want to do here is I want to leave 140 for Nelnet F, and then that means I have $300 between all my sinking funds. So I'm gonna go ahead and write them all down. Obviously my Christmas fund, which is seasonal, and then I have my regular funds that I'm always saving for. So car, home, medical, personal, and vet are my regular rotation funds. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 funds. I have $300. I want to put closer to half of that into Christmas. Half would be 150. So I'll aim for 150 in the Christmas fund. And then that leaves 150 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That comes out to $30 each. So I'm going to do that. Everyone gets 30. You get a 30. We all get 30. So that makes it 300, right? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 plus 15 is 30. Beautiful. So 440 minus 300 is 140. The 140 zeroes out the budget with nothing for extra savings. So there's my estimated monthly budget. These are all estimated numbers. And when I get my paycheck in, I can go ahead and add the real numbers. So if you've been following me for a while, you know this is normally where the monthly budget video ends. But for some of you who have expressed interest, I'm going to be giving you a little sinking funds update. I'm going to be counting out all of my funds and just notating their starting balances. I brought in one of my friction erasable markers to use for this one. It's the same type of technology in my erasable pen. Not sponsored, I just really love them. I make mistakes all the time, so I definitely need the erasableness, and I just find them really helpful. So I'm reaching over. I've got my sinking funds book here, and what I actually should do is we should go back to October. I obviously still track my sinking funds even though it's off camera. So I'm gonna take this out because I can. Just to make sure that all the amounts are matching. I love for some reason this is the only one that I wrote in like regular lowercase. And I've gone ahead and just drawn a line up until the balance point because that's the only information that I'm collecting to start out here. So I'm just gonna go through the order that they're in here. This was my old phone sinking fund when I was saving to get a new phone. It's now the home of my temporary Christmas fund. I just don't want to waste the material because it's still a perfectly usable envelope. So let's go ahead and count this. We have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 150, 155, and beautiful, so I have 155. So I'll go ahead and put that back. The rest of these should be in alphabetical order. So next should be car. Yeah, all right. So I have this prepaid Visa card, which is from last Christmas from my parents. This is $400. And then, so this will be $500. 520, 540, 560, 580, 590, 595, 596, 597, 598, 599, and let's see. Okay, so there's an extra dollar in here. That's weird. I'm not gonna question it. I might have actually found it in my car one day and then just forgot about it and put it in there. It's totally valid. Or maybe another sinking fund is missing $1. We'll find out. So I'm gonna put this back into car maintenance. And we gotta notate that we have, for now anyway, notate it's actually $5.99. Now we got home. Home is one of my newer funds. I started it with the intent of like saving for furniture and stuff, but my partner and I are trying to keep it light, so we don't really have much of an excuse for it. I just like to imagine that I'll actually be able to maybe use this money to help us move in the near future, and that maybe over time it might even turn into saving for a down payment for a house. So that's my home sinking fund in a nutshell. So let's give it a count. We have 1, 150, 2, 250, 270, 290, 310, 330, 350, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 355. We should have, yes. $355. I'll let us move forward into medical, a fund that I'm glad I don't really have to tap into too much. So I should have 621 here. So let's count. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 121. So 621. Beautiful. And I know, I realized I just put that in the wrong category, so I gotta go fix that. My brain was thinking ahead to the next one, which is personal. So let me take that out, but let me change the amount here. So 621 in medical. Personal should have 171 according to the end of October. So 100, 20, 40, 60, 71. Yep, 171. And then last but not least, my vet fund. And according to October, there should be 547 in here. So let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500, 520, 530, 540, 545, 547, which is exactly what October says. That means all of my sinking funds are accurate, up to date. I'm not missing any spending on them. And I can't wait to add money to them. In the back here, there's like my school sinking fund little spending ledger. This stays in a savings account through my bank, so there's no cash envelope for that. So, but in case you are curious, I had a $2,000 balance that I created with some of the refund that I received for my student loan. I paid tuition with it, and I had to buy a textbook, and the textbook and most of the tuition will be reimbursed to me through my employer. So this balance will go back up again at the end of the semester. And for some reason, I did add it on my October sheet, even though I'm not doing anything with it. I'm not going to add it to November. And I probably won't add it until January of next year. It'll probably show up for a month because that's when I should get my refund back. So that's that. Honestly, I've just been chilling here thinking about how long this video has been to film and how long this video will be to watch. And honestly, if you made it to the end of this video, you're an absolute champ. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. I'd really enjoy some feedback that you may have for the addition of the sinking fund section, or if anything in my regular budget I need to tweak or change or explain more. If you want to support me on my budget planning and debt payoff journey, make sure that you're subscribed down below with the notifications turned on so that you get notified when I upload. If you like my budgeting style and want to try it out, my budgeting sheets are available on my Etsy shop, which is K Planner Printables. I'll try to put a little infographic. You're also welcome to follow me on my Instagram, which is K Budget Plans, where I do post some budget content as well as some more general happy planner content. Honestly, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you down in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.